It is March 20th, 2020. I don't think I've taken a video of the backyard in a couple of years. So just kind of wanted to give a little update. I mean, this has been a big renovation. There's a lot going on here. Gate right up there, right up there. Yeah, fence and another gate over here under the deck, which is new over there. Moving the fire pit a little bit. So, yeah, I'm gonna repair this hole with some rocks and gonna use the ash from here to fill on top of the rocks. Need a few more rocks there. They're coming. This is a catalpa tree. I have 2 of them here because on some years they don't host the moths. And what I'm hoping is that these catalpas, as you can see, they're leaning. I planted them leaning on purpose, about a 10-degree angle, because I want them to go over the water. And I want them to drop those worms into the water, so this will be good fishing. This tree right here, this magnolia, has never, ever been a good-looking tree. It's always been one of my least favorite trees on this property, though I do love magnolias. This one's just not ever performed. So what I've done is planted these here on this side of magnolia so that they get morning sun. You can see they're getting morning sun now, but the sun gets cut off throughout the day from this guy right here. And so they are going to reach out into the lake. Both of them will reach out into the lake because this is where they'll get all of their sun. So that's the goal anyway. We'll see how it works. This is a smaller one. Like I said, I got 2 different years. I'm hoping that because there's 2 different years, some years this one will have the moss. Like when this one's taking a year off, maybe this one will have the moss. I'm not sure if they sync up biologically because they're next to each other, or maybe it's a age thing. Like maybe when this one's 10 it won't have any, and when this one's 11 it won't have any. I don't know, but I got them different years, and in the hopes that it will mitigate that. Ivory chasing a squirrel. She almost got that one actually. This was a fire pit, designed to be a fire pit. The original owners put in, and it sunk in the middle, so I just got a big pot to put there so that it would people would have to pay attention to it and see that there's a difference, and otherwise you could just walk through here and just dunk and have a hard time. So had a lot of plants in there, but the one that's growing is a tropical sage, and it's a volunteer, and it's growing really well. So yep, gonna leave that guy. So over here we just had some stumps ground down. There was a 300-400-year-old oak tree right here, and just had it ground down. That's a whole bunch of mulch. I have not decided what I'm going to do with the mulch yet, but it's there for now. Over here, this is a volunteer. Interesting story about this tree. This tree was about 6 inches tall. I mean, it was this big, and I was going to plant a tree somewhere in this area right here, and I thought, well, I could do that, but then I would have to break up all this concrete. And I really sat here like for quite a while debating this, because this tree is growing right on top of the concrete. That you can't see it right now. It's literally right on top of the line. So that tree is going to get that big, which means it will fracture all this concrete. Well, that night I had decided that I was going to come out here and cut all different degrees in this concrete, and a storm came through that's also on video and ripped this limb off, and the limb fell right here, and it cracked the concrete for me, and it also made it an easy decision to keep the tree. The thing I was worried about was that tree is going to destroy this concrete. That's the thing I was worried about. But now that it's already fractured right there, I mean, all I have to do is just dig that up when it's ready, and that's the first layer. So it'll give by a little time. This is one of my favorite plants. It's Sabal minor. The original owners had big bunch of azaleas right here, and I did not like that. I would see snakes come out of the water and go into the azaleas. And so I knew they were there on the property. Well, I didn't like that. I'm taking out the shrubs that are close to the water, replacing it with trees that'll be a sun block and a wind block, and also drop stuff in the water. So all of this is going to be sod now. This is a water oak, which is the same kind as this. It's a red oak. This is a bald cypress, and I have it far enough away. I planted it far enough away from both sidewalks that it should never interfere with either sidewalk. And if it does interfere with this sidewalk, that sidewalk would be gone by then. It'll be like 100 years from now. The sidewalk won't even be functional at that point. I'm surprised it's lasted this long. Most of the sidewalks along this side were poured in 1970 or 1969, maybe 74, something like that. And so they're all old and cracking, and they're going to have to be replaced. Well, this guy is pretty young, as you can see, but planted a little bit of an angle. I didn't really want to plant this one at an angle. I had heard that if you plant them at an angle, they're susceptible to falling more than most trees. So yeah, I'm just gonna let this guy go. No buds or anything on it yet. Well, no, there's one. There's a couple of buds right there. Let's see if we can see them. Oh, a couple of buds right there. It's coming. This kind of concrete is slick. And even when I was young, I would tell the owners of the house that this was slick and it needed to be changed. Well, I'm going to change it. You can see the landing here. This sidewalk is eventually going to be taken out, and this is the sidewalk that will go in. There'll be a sidewalk directly onto the pier. The reason it does this whole thing is Papa had some stuff planned for a table here and a fire pit here and all kinds of stuff out here that just never happened. This guy is a red maple, and this is part of the strategy to feed the fish. It's planted real close to the bulkhead. It's going to get 60 feet tall, and you can see I've not only planted it leaning, but I've cut off most of the branches that are growing back this way. I'm going to force it to grow this direction. It's going to be part of my wind block strategy too, and a nice, just beautiful tree. This is a red maple. This is a red maple. This is a red maple. And so the three of them are going to just have a nice, beautiful red show in the fall. And plus this red oak here, this is a water oak that is a red oak, and this is a red oak too. So this area is going to have a really nice fall color and feed the fish. So yeah, I was saying that this is a maple here. This guy's only 2 years old, going into his third year. He is, this is my height. Wow, that guy grew a lot. He's pretty tall. And got a lot of growth on him already this year. So, pretty excited about that one. Sabal minors. So again, one of my favorite plants. And planted 5 of them here. There's a drip line from this gazebo roof. There is a drip line that comes down right here. And so what I really wanted was to allow the water to feed these, just the water that drips from the ceiling periodically, from the roof. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet. This is a big drainage area right here, so I might just put some grasses in here just to slow down the water. Underneath there, we're actually having some erosion issues that I've got to fix. So this is a big drainage issue. In fact, some of these stones were pushed over by the water. Seriously, there was so much water coming down at one point. So I had to get stones specifically with, that didn't match up at the bottom, so that they would drain a little better. See another one over here, doesn't match up. I just wanted some more drainage to come out. And I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do here yet, but knowing that it's a drain field, this is going to act as a berm, so I need to put stuff in front of it to slow it down before it gets to the berm, I think. Or maybe I just dig dig a swale to allow it to pool. I don't know. I gotta do something. So this lantana is a volunteer. It's gone. These are some sort of iris or lily or something. I don't know. They're gone. It's a volunteer. This sage is only found in Devil's River. It's not available commercially on the market. When you smell it, it smells different than any sage I've ever smelled before. And I've got it here. You know, it gets filtered light most of the day. It's not an ideal spot for it, but there's been quite a bit of tree trimming, and it gets a lot more sun. So I hope it'll pick up. Yeah, let's go down here. That's our wiener dog. Hey, Jazz. Jazz Wiener. Ooh, that's a good wiener. She's so cute. Okay, this is a sycamore, and I bought this specific sycamore because it's leaning already. It's got one growing up, but it's also got one growing out, and that's the dominant one. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this so it just keeps hopefully growing. You see it's kind of trying to straighten out here. I'm hoping that this branch will also get up there so that it forces it out. That's what I'm hoping. The line you can see, this is a Mexican white oak, sycamore, maple, cypress, and then 2 catalpa trees, just all different species. This is a white oak, and that is a red oak, and these are going to attract like 600 different kinds of moths and stuff, some of which are going to drop into the water, which is exactly what I want. I want a constant food source along here. Food source for the fish, that is. So yeah, pretty good. And then looking up this way, I mean, wow, it's really grown. So these are longleaf pines, 5 longleaf pines here, and then a loblolly pine. So the pine forest is going to be, I purposely put it all together because I wanted to concentrate all of the pine needles. That's going to be where I'm going to get my pine needles every year. It's also designed to be a wind block for wind coming out of the south. I mean, eventually they're all going to be like telephone pole width, right? So, or larger. And so I planted 6 fast-growing pines, and it will just be telephone pole, telephone pole, telephone pole, telephone pole. So that is going to be an effective wind block, just with all the lumber, not to mention all the canopy. And the canopy is going to include this oak here. This oak's going to get pretty wide, and it will encroach here. And then this is another white oak that's going to get pretty wide that will encroach over here. So it's going to be a whole big wind block. Plus the sycamore is going to act as a wind block as well. That's a Mexican white oak, as I mentioned. Another Mexican white oak. I need to stake these guys. Actually, look at that. He's growing up. Perfect. Yeah, I need to stake this guy. He's putting on a lot of growth. Yeah, just noticed that. So this is a holly, another holly, a Yopon holly, whole bunch of hollies here. And the goal is to let these grow along the fence and just create a screen. I mean, I want them evergreen, or maybe not evergreen, but even the berries will add a screen too. I want a screen, a 1-level screen here. This is a wax myrtle. You can see how close it's planted here. The wax myrtle and the cherry laurel are all going to be part of this living fence we've got going on here. And then the white oaks are going to back it up. 2 white oaks behind it. So that is going to be extremely dense. This cherry laurel here will get 30 feet tall eventually. It's in a great spot. Look at the blooms on this. Pretty blooms. And then over here starts the orchard. Got a pecan here, a Pawnee pecan. This is a commercially grown and sold pecan. This is a avocado tree, a Joey avocado, and it is planted right up against the house because I need this southern wall to protect it from the north wind. So it got down to 28 degrees this year, and that avocado tree didn't lose a leaf, not even any, like maybe a little singe of burn, but I specifically planted it out of the north wind. This right here looks like it's dead, but I am seeing some new growth on it. This is a mountain laurel, and this mountain laurel is designed to be a wind block for the orchard. You can see here, the north wind comes this way. It's now going to hit this guy, and it's going to dissipate. So it's going to be even warmer back here, even on windy days. Even if the weather's coming out of the west, it'll still be warmer back here. And I say that because I'm not covering these. These need to be able to grow here on this side of the south wall. You can see all the sun they're getting. This is a Satsuma orange. This is a Meyer lemon. And this is a Fuyu persimmon. Behind it is the remnants of the compost pile. I'm not going to move the compost. I'm just going to use it as I need it and just kind of spread it around the yard as I need it. But I'm not going to have the compost pile here regardless. I don't think there's enough room there. So that's the orchard. Over on this side, I've got some stuff that'll help bring in pollinators for the orchard. You can see this is an Australian bottlebrush. It's just starting to come out. This is actually the first year. It got frozen back in Austin last year, which is the reason I brought it here. It should never get frozen back here. It's, again, kind of out of the north wind. I mean, it's somewhat protected here, but once the trees get put in, it'll be a lot more protected. But you see when it's flowering. It's flowering at the same time that a lot of these other plants are flowering over here. Lantana. This is a Texas native lantana. This is a sky flower or a duranta. So most of these get some pretty wicked thorns on them, but this particular one didn't. And I propagated 3 different ones. So yeah, I've got a thornless version. It seems to be anyway. You can see the big stalk on this one. What happened to them? I think they froze back in Austin or something, and I brought them here and just cut them back, and we're going to let them here. This is their final resting spot, so need a screen along the fence here. 2 more lantanas here, just to add some more pollination. This is a really nice combo. The purple and the oranges and yellows of the lantana and make a really nice combination, but also they'll keep pollinators coming to this part of the garden so that these trees can be self-pollinated. That's the whole idea. So this is the backyard. That's what I got. A few more stones over there. I got a bunch of stones over there, but I have some projects for them. And I mean, this living fence is looking pretty good. Yeah. This pear tree, not really thrilled with this pear tree, never have been. It is going to go. So this is the food garden. I got cilantro here. I planted a bunch of cilantro seeds, and they came up, and they were in the wrong spot of the yard, so I moved them over here. And I'm hoping that these will flower and then come back every year. That's my goal. These are walking onions. They just love it here. When I planted them here, they were dying in Austin. I brought like 3 to 5 of them here, and you can see one. Yeah, 3. Yeah, about maybe 3 or 5, something like that. And they're doing very well there. You can see. This is exciting here. I got some New Zealand spinach coming back, so I'm gonna let that grow as much as it wants. That's part of my emergency plan. This is some Russian kale that just, I don't know why it's not catching on, but it's just not really growing that fast. This should be, I mean, it's about to get eaten here any day now by bugs coming in, so I don't know. I put a bunch of seeds here last year. I don't know why it's not coming up. This is garlic, and this is the most pathetic garlic I've ever seen. I put this garlic in on time, and it's just not growing. I can't think that it would be not nutritious soil, because I put earthworms and fertilizer and all kinds of stuff, even though it is first year compost. I can't think that. And you see how these girls do. Yeah, these girls just walk through the garden, so got to put stuff in here that'll at least handle a little bit. Yeah, this over here, these are wild chives. I can see something coming out right there. That's exciting. I got these in Dallas when I was fishing the Brazos River. I was on the edge of the Brazos, or a artery of the Brazos, and found these and thought I'd dig them up. I don't know if they're poisonous or not, which is the reason I kind of put them over here until I find out. But I need them in flower, because you can't tell the difference in just a leaf. Some garlic chives from Austin. So what I do have right now is garlic chives, cilantro, garlic, and Egyptian walking onions coming up. So that's pretty cool. I'm liking that. These two things are my defenders against the predators. We have some pretty big birds and raccoons and stuff over here. This is another one right here. So when these are on, anything gets in this area, in this pond area, and they get sprayed. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but this was actually a really, really big deal. All the birds and stuff just keep getting in here. And, you know, I had 60 fish at one time. I think I'm down to like 30. Yeah, so got a fountain over here that turns on and circulates the water every day for 3 hours. Bunch of plants coming up over here. And, you know, I don't think that any of these Texas Star hibiscuses made it. They were all putting on growth, and then a freeze just came through. So I think they just might have got nuked. Oh, I do see some green over there on that one. So hopefully we have them coming back. That would be nice. All kinds of stuff. This is, you can't even see it. And I don't know what kind of grass this is. It was gifted to me by Texas Parks and Wildlife, and I don't know what it is. But anyway, it is a native grass to this area, and so I have it in my pond. All natives and the Texas Star hibiscus. Nothing here yet, but this might even turn out to be a filter. The water's just kind of staying murky, even though I circulate it. And it's a lot clearer than it used to be, but it's still kind of murky. So what I'm thinking is that we'll have this fountain spray into this maybe, or something like that. The problem is I really like to circulate the water. It does a lot for the fish. The fish like it and everything. You can see them play in it. So anyway, yeah, but this is the pond. Little azalea back here coming out. Let's go check that out. Yeah, azalea just coming out for the day. Okay. All right. Well, that's it.